Good day, everybody. Today I'm planning on resetting the bedding in my ENC breeder bin. We set this bin on December 6th. Today it is January 10th. And so we're way past 3 weeks. We're a month and 4 days. And I think it's time to redo them. Give them some new bedding. Take the bedding and the cocoons and the baby worms and put them in the brooder bin. So we're just gonna skim off what we can. You know, some people really get a little anal about trying to get all of the worms out. You can eventually do it, but sometimes it's just there is a cocoon. That's what we're doing. We want the cocoons to come with us. And the stuff up here is kind of dry, but there's still a worm in it. See? There's still a worm in it. There's still a couple worms in it, actually. So we're just going to start by peeling off what we can out of this bin. Just quick, easy, grab what we can. And I fed these guys on the 6th, right? Or the 7th. So there's food in here. So there's going to be a concentration of worms there. When I get to that, I'm grabbing that concentration of worms. I'm not going to sit and mess around all day. I have other things to do. But it doesn't have to be complicated. If they're all congregated, just grab them and get them moved. You know, just take your time, but oh, there's a worm in there. Go in. I take my time, but I try not to waste my time, I guess is what I'm saying. You know, there was a time I just took forever because I was so intrigued with playing with the worms and picking out the worms, and I wanted to save every worm in. There's a big cocoon right there. I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but I'll try to bring it closer. There's a big cocoon right on my thumb. So that's what we're trying to do here, is make them breed more. There's 2 big cocoons right there. And this stuff here is going to go into the brooder bin. That's already established. So, a little bit of food here. The food, I would rather stay with the worms. But I guess, whatever, right? Whatever works. Whatever gets the job done. There's a cocoon right there. And I'm seeing lots of castings in here, but there's coffee and eggshells and coffee grounds and castings all mixed, and cocoons. A few cocoons in that handful. We finally got some snow, guys, last few days. I guess we had some on the 7th when I fed and I didn't tell you about it. But it finally turned to winter in southern Saskatchewan. Before that, we had been having a very open, no snow winter. Okay, I'm getting to the food there. There's a worm. It's strange. Some of them are really active and some of them seem like they're almost having a nap. A couple worms there. Set them back in. We're kind of getting to where the worms are showing up with what I'm trying to do, so I'm going to set them up for the light separation. Like we're going to use light to separate them, and it's not very hard. Okay, so get them out in the middle. Get them out in the middle. But I'm pretty happy with the amount of cocoons that I'm seeing in here. That's the whole idea behind setting up breeder bins. Onion peel. It stirs them up, I guess, or makes them want to do more egg laying or cocoon laying. Oh, guys, everybody get in your pile. We'll just start at the top and work our way down. I'm going to do this full length. I know you guys are going to get bored. I did a time lapse the last time and I don't know. I've seen guys do it either way. See, they're really moving around now. Come on, get back in. And I find the Europeans, when you're disturbing them a little bit, they tend to go wandering around the bin. So you will see that. Cocoon. And the European nightcrawler's cocoons are big. They're easy to see. It's kind of nice. There's a cocoon there. I guess if I see worms, I'll just put them back here with their food. What the hell? Because they're going to stay in this bin. So I'm just going to scooch them towards the food. The moisture feels good in here. The edges were a little dry, but it's okay. It's okay. It keeps them into the when they get out and have that dry spot, they go back in. So it keeps them in the middle and it keeps them concentrated to where the food is. You just keep working your way down and around the outside. do what you got to do. Make the pile smaller. There's some food. There could be some little worms in here that are just hatched. You know, like I went past the 3-week thing. And I found with my red wigglers when I did this, even at 3 weeks, I had baby worms in the cocoon mix. So, you know, is what it is. Try not to get too worried about it, because if the baby cocoons stay in here, they're going to grow up to be breeders eventually in, you know, a few months. And if they go in here, they're going to go with the baby cocoons and the babies. It's just not really a big deal either way, you know. Seeing a good amount of cocoons throughout. There's a cocoon. Try not to waste too much time doing this, but you got to take your time to find the worms and let them work their way into the pile, or move them over to the food area where they're, I mean, there's food. And I know once I get to the middle, I'm going to have a ball of worms. Like, it's because they just keep moving down. Got a pretty bright light up here. It's a big LED light, and it really is nice to work under and work with and do this light extraction method. There's another worm. So, been getting some comments along the way. It's kind of cool. Everybody's interested in what a person's doing, and it's nice to talk to people. I would really enjoy people telling me where they're from. It's kind of cool to be able to say, you know, I've talked to people in Florida. I've talked to people in the United Kingdom. I've talked to people in British Columbia, Canada. I've talked to people. There's a big cocoon right there. And there's more in that handful. Really is kind of fun to converse with people from around the world about something we're all interested in and learning to do. Like I've said before, I don't do everything the way other people want to do it. I'm doing it the way I do it. And there's so many different ways of doing things, and none of them are wrong. So we all learn from each other. Some of the things that some other people are doing, they show their experiences. I see their experiences. I think, oh man, I don't think I like that idea. That's why we watch it on YouTube and learn from other people. We don't have to do the mistakes ourselves, and we don't have to do that ourselves and then see that we don't, well, maybe it doesn't fit our program. We can watch what other people are doing, and we can see how other people are making out on what they're doing, and see what's going on, right? Like, you don't have to make the same mistakes or the same, you don't have to do the same things as everybody else, and everybody's got a different operation. For instance, I do not feed worm chow. I have no problem with people that do. If that's what you want to do, go for it. I want my worms to be eating stuff that is getting recycled. And other people are raising their worms to get more worms to sell. And worm chow is a good way of doing that because it definitely feeds them. And it definitely makes them fat and attractive for sale. But I got worms like that. And I think they look fine. I'm not selling any right now either. There's a baby worm in there, guys. See? You can go over here. I'm not selling my worms right now. I just, my cousin's daughter likes worms. So I just took 4 handfuls of worms out of my guy's bin a couple days ago. I think it was on the 7th or 8th. It was on the 8th. No, it was on the 7th. We had them over, we were playing cards. And she was pretty excited about worms when her mom talked to her about worms that morning. And of course, we didn't tell her anything about it. I just, before they got ready to go, I said, you got to come with me. And I went and I grabbed me a bin like this. And we came upstairs and started messing with the worms, and I put some in the bucket and I handed it to her and I said, there you go, here's your worm farm. And she was all excited. Talk about making a 12-year-old's day. Guess she's pretty excited about them. Can't leave them alone, but that's okay. I didn't at first either. Hey, get back with the bunch, you. So we're just skimming our way around. If I see worms, I'm putting them where I want them. I'm not putting them back in a pile and waiting for them to go back down. It's just quicker, easier. There's a worm. I have seen some little worms in here. We're getting close to the food here, right? So you just keep going around, picking different spots. Sorry if you wanted a time lapse, this time's not getting one. I've had some people say, wow, that was really fast, but I didn't get to see much. So this time you're getting the full Monty and you're getting to see the whole deal. I think last time it took me about 20 minutes to do the red wigglers. Yeah, let's see how long it takes to do this. But as we get close to the food, I move the food over there. We're gonna find a time when we're gonna get right concentrated here. And that's what we're trying to do, is concentrate them up so that we can pull out the castings and the cocoons and old bedding, and then we're going to give them new bedding. I have some pre-mix here, so just brush it away, check for worms, pick it up, take it to the other bin. Well, you guys want to go out in the open, you can go where you're supposed to. Keep pulling off the top. As you get closer to the worms, they keep going down. I find the European night crawlers more apt to go around and look to get away from you when you're disturbing their environment, I guess, their bed, their house. You know, you're mixing up their house. See, this guy keeps wanting to come back, and this one's going over there, and that one's turning around. You just give them a little nudge, and they turn around and they go where you want. But I'm gonna leave the food in here, and there's cocoons on the food, and that's where my little worms are coming from too. I mean, some of them are staying in with the breeders. It's okay. They're all worms. They're all doing their worm thing, and so in this handful that I just picked up, I see a baby worm there. So it's, you know, you're going to see what you're doing when you're doing it, and it's up to you to make it as complicated or as easy as you want to make it. Doesn't have to be either or. It just, you know, in my idea, it's just nice to do it, get it over with, share it with you guys so that you can share the experience. Over there, guys. That one that's come back to the pile now. But there is quite a few cocoons in here. There's a baby worm. Baby worm. See? And they end up going where they're supposed to go someday. I mean, maybe this time some of them stay in here. Maybe next time they get picked out and go for a ride to the new bin. Does it matter? Does it matter? A bunch of baby worms getting down. Like, now we're getting into this food area, right? So this is where the baby worms are. And it's okay. We're finding them. Some of them are coming. Some of them are going. There's a baby worm right on this piece of cardboard, and he is not very big. Only a few days old. Hope I'm showing you the right one. I think I got... Yeah. My hand's in the view. I don't know if you can see the worm. Anyway, not the best video guy. Hopefully I'm getting better at it. There's some more baby worms. There's some more baby worms. But you see, as we get down into the heart where the worms are, we get more baby worms because they go down with the light just like the big ones do. And we're getting more concentrated in the worms, right? So just keep working your way in. And all I'm looking for is the adults. If the babies want to go to the other bin, I'm good with that. Cocoons, we want them. And I take the adults and put them over there so they're out of the road, right? Come on, guys, get back together. You get? Yeah. You want to go on runabout, you go with the other ones too. You want to go runabout? See, they do go wandering and find themselves a little corner or a place to hide, and then yeah. Anyway, it is what it is, right? Just keep doing what you're doing and get done. And you know, it'll come. It'll come. Try to be gentle with them if you are handling them. I mean, don't squish them and hurt them. They are beings, I guess. I know you're going to eventually maybe throw a hook into them and feed them to a fish or something, but meantime, try to be nice. So just look at what they're doing here, guys. They go in and then they push all that stuff as they're going down to get away from the light. They push a bunch of the castings and and the cocoons and the bedding up. And then you can just kind of skim it off the top, check it out. They're pretty efficient. Like, they help you out a lot. They want to get away from that light, so they go for the dark and they go down, and pretty soon all that's left is a ball of worms, but they're just going around and around. Like I say, get one in your hand, move it to where you want it. Don't throw it back in the pile and wait for it to go down, right? Like, that takes a lot of time. It takes a lot more time than just putting them where you want them. See, you can just grab a little off the top, because they're going downwards. And you will get a worm, like I say. Move them. Come on, guys, get in there. Well, you want to go over there? Go there. And we had a good little bunch of worms in here. I think I started with 220-ish, so probably about 250. And there's little ones there's little worms in here, so they're growing. So I think I got 220-ish breeders, and whatever came with it. I wasn't that anal about getting a count on them. It just had to be close. This is the first harvest of the to move it to the brooder bin, and I'm really impressed with the amount of cocoons that I'm seeing. There's lots. So, before we get to the end of the video, I'd like to encourage everybody to subscribe and like and share and comment and tell us where you're from. You don't have to give us your exact location, just generally where you're from. Like, I live in southern Saskatchewan. That's close enough. Gives us all a geographical idea of who we're all talking to, and it's a lot of fun. Kind of neat to... I used to drive semi-truck all over North America. So I've been to a lot of places, and I've been to a lot of cities, and like, I know I was talking to Hunter's Worms in Florida, and I've been to Florida, really like Florida. Florida was gorgeous, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed going there. I enjoyed trucking to there and from there. It was a good experience. The state was beautiful. I've got another lady from Victoria, BC that has started following, and we chat back and forth a little bit. Always interested in chatting back and forth and seeing how everything's doing. I actually have family out on the island. Port Alberni and no, not Port Alberni. Sorry. Oh man, I can't remember where they're at right now. Okay, do you see how concentrated we're getting here now? Just let them go for a few minutes. See what you get. There's a cocoon. someday I'm going to spend the time, look at one under magnifying glass or something, and see if I can watch them coming out of the cocoon. But that sounds like a pretty time-consuming thing, and sometimes I don't have all the time in the world. We've been doing renovation projects around here, so the renovation projects that we've been doing have been beautifying the walls and making them look pretty, because we live in probably close to 120-year-old house, and she needed some love. And the person that was in here before didn't really know how to do drywall, and I'll be 100% honest with you, I don't really know how to do drywall either. I mean, anybody, I guess you can do it. What I'm trying to say is I'm not good at it. But I sure did make the walls look a little different. A friend and I, we tore down a fence at the place where I used to live. And we milled them all down. We cut them in half, and then we put them through the planer, and we cleaned them up on one side, and then we screwed them all together, and we cleaned up the sides, and then we took them apart and we put them through the saw again, the table saw, to mill them into shiplap type groove. Then we put them on the wall in no consistent manner, just as they came, as I ordered. It's all haphazard, and boy, does it ever look sharp. There's a cocoon laying right there. You know, and doing this, everything's going to stay in the breeder bin. I think I'm going to call it. These guys are getting pretty clean. And you know what? It's probably stressful for them to have all their house disappear. So I'm gonna give them their new bedding, and we're gonna move on. See, we're heading over there already. And this new bedding has lots of moisture in it. And I have been stirring it up as more often as I can. But it does have a bit of a smell to it because it's been going a little bit anaerobic. But mixing it up like this and putting it out and letting the worms get out of it, it's going to be fine. So we're going to go like that. We're going to go like that. We're going to go like that. And then we'll let you watch the worms go in. Bury their food. And it's pretty wet stuff. That's a coffee filter. That's okay. There you go. Watch. They'll just find their way in as they show me where their food is. I'm just going to bury it. They really go to town when they get new bedding. They really like it. And they really, I don't know, I guess maybe it's like when we wash our beds. It just feels good, and you just snuggle right in and do what you're supposed to do. And we're supposed to sleep, and they're supposed to breed, so. Okay, well, close this up for now. Let's see how it goes. So this stuff here, over here, we're going to put this into our breeder bin. But I'm just going to let you guys watch these guys go down. Then it don't take them long. they're already, good portion of them are already headed for the depths, right? Because the light pushes them down, so they seem pretty happy. So anyway, get back to what we did, and then so it's all, my walls have gone from ugly open lath and plaster and ugly drywall that wasn't done properly to a beautiful wood paneling, custom made wood paneling that is varnished and sealed up, and it looks about 700% better in my eyes. I mean, some people may not like wood. I do. And I'm the one that lives here, so my significant other, she seems to think that it looks pretty good, and I like wood, and yeah, so I guess that's what counts, right? We're happy with it. So that's basically it. We're gonna set these guys over here and give you an update just before we're done. And then we're gonna take this off. And we're gonna bring these guys over. And these are our brooder bin for the ENCs, and they've been doing very well. A piece of plastic. We'll take that out of there. If I see it, I take it out. So I'm just going to take this, put it in here. And that's basically how a brooder bin and a breeder bin system works. We just, so I always check to see if I'm leaving behind baby worms. There is a baby worm. Oh, that's not even a baby worm, that's just, looks pretty good. There's a baby worm there. So if you use your hands, which I don't recommend to do, but if it's only like one worm, and you don't want to grab any bedding and squash it around like I showed you in another video, and then pour it back into your system, go like this. Wipe, don't just go like that. Go like this as you get close to them and wipe up, and then you'll peel, they'll grab your finger and they'll come with you. And that way you don't damage the little guys, because they're very tender and small. And but it doesn't look like there's a bunch in here, so yeah, that's just kind of a little stick. Thought it was a worm, but it's not wiggling. Okay, so that's that. We're gonna go like this. The moisture in this bin is really good. There's more than enough moisture in that bin to compensate for any dryness that I just put in from the breeder bin. There's lots of moisture in this brooder bin. So once you put the plastic over it and close it up, yeah, we got a little bit of gnats and a little bit of insects in there, but they stay in the bin. They don't cause a lot of problems. I haven't had a big problem with that. So that part is done. Just give you a little update on these guys. They've pretty much all gone down. You don't see very many of them anymore, and that's okay. Now we're going to cover them up, and we're going to call it a video. Hope everybody enjoyed it. Hope everybody got something out of it. Like, subscribe, share, comment. Let us know where you live. Not exactly, but just geographically. Let's share our locations, because everybody has a different environment and everybody has a different climate, and it's a lot of fun to see what other people are doing, but sometimes the climate's different. So share, subscribe, like, comment. Let's have some fun. Keep it going, guys. Have a good one. We're January 10th on the reset, and away we go. I'm going to continue on. Have a great one. Bye.